Good morning. This is Sober Readings for Saturday, September 6th. From the Daily Reflections book, Removing Threats to Sobriety. Except when to do so would injure them or others. That's from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 59. Step 9 restores in me a feeling of belonging, not only to the human race, but also to the everyday world. First, the step makes me leave the safety of AA, so that I may deal with non-AA people out there on their terms, not mine. It is a frightening but necessary action if I am to get back into life. Second, Step 9 allows me to remove threats to my sobriety by healing past relationships. Step 9 points the way to a more serene sobriety by letting me clear away past wreckage, lest it bring me down. Today's reading from the 24 Hours book, the AA Thought for the Day. Another of the mottos of AA is, live and let live. This, of course, means tolerance of people who think differently than we do, whether they are in AA or outside of AA. We cannot afford the luxury of being intolerant or critical of other people. We do not try to impose our wills on those who differ from us. We are not holier than thou. We do not have all the answers. We are not better than other good people. We live the best way we can, and we allow others to do likewise. So ask yourself, am I willing to live and let live? The meditation for the day. And this is life eternal, that we may know thee, the only true God. Learning to know God as best you can draws the eternal life nearer to you. Freed from some of the limitations of humanity, you can grow in the things that are eternal. You can strive for what is real and of eternal value. The more you try to live in the consciousness of the unseen world, the gentler will be your passing into it when the time comes for you to go. This life on earth should be largely a preparation for the eternal life to come. The prayer for the day. I pray that I may live each day as though it were my last. I pray that I may live my life as though it were everlasting. And finally, today's reading from As Bill Sees It, page 71. How can you roll with a punch? On the day that the calamity of Pearl Harbor fell upon our country, a great friend of AA was walking along a St. Louis street. Father Edward Dowling was not an alcoholic, but he had been one of the founders of the struggling AA group in his city. Because many of his usually sober friends had already taken to their bottles that they might blot out the implications of the Pearl Harbor disaster, Father Ed was anguished by the thought that his cherished AA group would probably do the same. Then a member, sober less than a year, stepped alongside and engaged Father Ed in a spirited conversation, mostly about AA. Father Ed saw with relief that his companion was perfectly sober. How is it that you have nothing to say about Pearl Harbor? How can you roll with a punch like that? Well, replied the yearling, each of us in AA has already had his own private Pearl Harbor. So why should we drunks crack up over this one? That's from an article written in the Grapevine from January of 1962. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of Sober Readings. Thanks for listening. Remember, just for today, don't drink, go to a meeting, and keep coming back. Have a great day. And as my friend Larry says, best day ever.